Welcome back, football fans. Today we've got a huge update from Spain, as both Barcelona and Real Madrid make headlines ahead of the new La Liga season. At Camp Nou, Barça are already planning big for 2026 with Alessandro Bastoni at the top of their transfer list, while Frenkie de Jong's absence sparks concern. Plus, Marcus Rashford opens up in his first major interview as a Blaugrana, with some exciting words about Lamine Yamal and Pedri. Over in Madrid, things are heating up as Xabi Alonso faces his first La Liga test against Osasuna. But the big question is whether Franco Mastantuono can play without triggering a legal battle. Add in Aurélien Tchouaméni's rise as a tactical cornerstone and even some last-minute transfer rumors, and you've got a packed show full of drama and excitement. Let's dive straight into it. Welcome back, football fans. Today we've got all the latest from two of Europe's biggest clubs, Barcelona and Real Madrid. At Camp Nou, FC Barcelona are busy planning for 2026 with Alessandro Bastoni as a priority signing, while Frenkie de Jong was absent from training for personal reasons. Plus, Marcus Rashford has given his first big interview as a Blaugrana, sharing insights on young stars like Lamine Yamal and Pedri. Meanwhile, over in Madrid, Xabi Alonso faces a tricky situation with new signing Franco Mastantuono, who could make his debut against Osasuna despite registration concerns that may spark legal questions. On top of that, Aurélien Tchouaméni is set to become a tactical cornerstone for Real Madrid this season. Stay tuned as we break down all the transfer drama, squad updates, and what this means for both clubs ahead of the new La Liga season. Real Madrid could face a legal battle if Xabi Alonso picks one player against Osasuna in their La Liga opener. Real Madrid kick off their La Liga season on Tuesday against Osasuna, marking Xabi Alonso's debut as the team's head coach in league action. Alonso, who played for the club for 5 seasons, has been tasked with leading Los Blancos to the league title, adding to the silverware he won as a player. The club has supported him in the transfer market, bringing in key additions like Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dean Huijsen and Alvaro Carreras. One of the most talked about signings is attacking midfielder Franco Mastantuono, who joined for £38.5 million and made headlines by breaking an unwritten rule during his official presentation. Mastantuono could feature in Madrid's opening league match, adding to the intrigue surrounding Alonso's first La Liga game in charge. But an appearance at the El Sadar Stadium could trigger legal action. According to Miguel Galán on El Chiringuito, Mastantuono's participation may be in jeopardy due to questions over registration rules. Per the report, the 18-year-old is officially listed with Real Madrid Castilla, the club's B team, in an attempt to work around regulations on player registration for the first team. Osasuna, who filed a complaint against Barcelona last season over Íñigo Martínez, could take similar action against Real, accusing them of acting in bad faith by registering him through alternative channels. If Osasuna decide to act against Real, then they would have 24 hours after tonight's game to file a complaint. What has Xabi Alonso said about Franco Mastantuono playing against Osasuna? Mastantuono has yet to feature for Real since his switch from River Plate this summer. But he could make his debut against Osasuna, with Alonso claiming he could get minutes in their La Liga opener. Speaking in Monday's pre-match press conference, Alonso revealed, yes, he could get minutes tomorrow. On the Argentine's qualities, the Los Blancos boss added, he's going to bring quality, energy. He's committed defensively, he's got good drive. In a short time I've seen that grit, that Argentine warrior spirit, but also real quality, he's combative. And he's got a spectacular left foot. He also explained where Mastantuono could make an impact. Whether on set pieces, the final pass or finishing, he's very sharp, he said. He's young but very mature for his age. We need to support him, but he's already at a very high level. According to an update shared by Mario de la Riva in AS, it has been revealed that Real Madrid midfielder Aurélien Tchouaméni is set to become a fundamental piece in Xabi Alonso's plans this season, largely due to his versatility. The French international is entering his 4th season at the Santiago Bernabéu, and unlike previous years where his role fluctuated, this campaign looks different. Tchouaméni is not only expected to be an important figure in midfield, but the central pillar around which Xabi Alonso's tactical framework revolves. Over the past 3 seasons, the 25-year-old has experienced all the highs and lows that come with playing for Real Madrid. He has endured moments of criticism from fans, dips in form, and even periods of being played out of position. Yet, on each occasion he has managed to respond and come back stronger, showing both resilience and maturity. Tactical weapon for Alonso. Now, the debate is not whether he will be important but rather how Alonso will use him. Tchouaméni is capable of adapting as a defensive pivot or even as a center-back, depending on the needs of the match and the demands of his coach. This adaptability gives Madrid enormous tactical flexibility. As Alonso explained during the World Cup, football forces you to do many things these days. This trust is reflected in how the fans' perception of the Frenchman has shifted. Just months ago he was met with whistles at the Bernabeu, but the narrative has turned around. Against Manchester City in the Champions League, he received a warm round of applause. That energy carried into pre-season, where Tchouaméni produced a standout performance against WSG Tirol. Heading into this campaign, all signs suggest that this will be Tchouaméni's defining season. He is no longer seen as a promising midfielder learning his trade but rather as a player central to Real Madrid's future. With Alonso placing his faith in him, Tchouaméni has everything in place to cement his role as one of the most indispensable players at the club. Andrea Berta has been handed what could prove to be a major boost to Arsenal's chances of signing Rodrigo from Real Madrid in the latter stages of the summer transfer window. Osasuna star Lucas Touré had something of a surprise response in store, upon being drawn on the most dangerous player in Real Madrid's squad. Osasuna and Real, of course, are primed to lock horns later this evening. In the respective clubs' La Liga season opener, the latter will act as hosts in a highly anticipated meeting at the Santiago Bernabeu. It is of course hosts Real Madrid who will head into the matchup as favorites to secure 3 points, in their first league outing under the watch of new head coach Xabi Alonso. Expected to play his part in Osasuna's attempts to prevent as much, though, will be the aforementioned Lucas Touré. Early this week, the midfielder in turn sat down for an interview with Diario AS, during which he was drawn on a whole host of topics surrounding the upcoming fixture. As alluded to above, though, it is one answer in particular on Touré's part which has since turned heads. This comes with the 31-year-old, after being asked to single out Madrid's most dangerous player, having gone on to explain. I'd start with Courtois, who's a wall, and when it comes to scoring goals, he's one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Touré also reserved special praise for 2 other members of Xabi Alonso's squad, continuing. Valverde is everywhere. Mbappe up front is very dangerous. They have players with great speed who can make the difference in a play. We'll have to try to play the best game possible to compete and get a positive result. Real Madrid have bid goodbye to several young talents from their club this season, with players like Victor Munoz, Chima Andres, Jacobo Ramon, and Rafael Obrador, among others, moving on to new journeys. Now, another young prospect from the club's reserve ranks is set to depart from the club. Jeremy de Leon headed to Hercules. Indeed, according to Marca, Real Madrid starlet Jeremy de Leon will spend this season on loan at Hercules CF. The Puerto Rican winger, who the Real Madrid first-team squad embraced as their lucky charm during the UEFA Champions League triumph in 2023-24, will play at the Rico Perez Stadium with the aim of regaining his best form after a difficult year plagued by injuries. De Leon joined Real Madrid from Castellón in January 2024. The 21-year-old forward was a part of the Castilla squad but traveled with the first team on their Champions League assignments, and was considered the lucky charm as the Merengues won the title. Last season, though, was a difficult one for De Leon as he struggled with injuries and struggled to get any meaningful minutes for Castilla under Raúl González. Now, with Álvaro Arbeloa in charge, De Leon was no longer a part of the plans of the reserve team, and as such he will now depart on loan to play for Hercules in Group 2 of the RFEF Primera Division. A key factor in the decision was the presence of Ruben Torrecilla on the Hercules bench. The coach had already worked with De Leon during his time at Castellón's youth side, before the youngster moved to Valdebebas in 2024. And that wraps up today's updates from Barcelona and Real Madrid. From Barca's future transfer plans and Rashford's first words in Catalonia, to Madrid's tricky legal dilemma over Mastantuono and Tchouaméni's key role under Xabi Alonso, there's no doubt both clubs are set for a thrilling season ahead. What do you think, football fans? Should Real risk playing Mastantuono against Osasuna, or will it backfire? And will Bastoni really be the defensive signing Barcelona need in 2026? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more daily updates, and we'll see you in the next video.